is there anything in, well, I don't want you to give away the things in your book because I want people to go buy it, but what sort of takeaways would you like to give away here about, like, note taking, implementation, retention skills, things like that?
Yeah, I'll share an example. The book has dozens of different frameworks and examples like the one that I'm about to share, but I'll share something from the beginning of the process. So let's say you're going to read a book. This is a book that I just got today. It's called Amazon Ads for Authors: Unlock Your Full Advertising Potential. So rather than just reading this blindly, looking for tips for advertising, I like to set an intention for each book that I read. And my intention for the book follows the SMART goal framework, and then I like to add a little bit of extra sauce to it. So for example, rather than just reading this randomly, I'll say, I'd like to find and implement at least 2 strategies for improving my ability to leverage Amazon ads by the end of next week, because I'm putting out a book in November and I want to make the most of that experience, not only for myself, but for every version of my younger self that will be unaware of my book unless I can master Amazon ads. So that's specific. I'm looking to find and implement 2 strategies. It's measurable, 2. It's attainable, it's actionable. It's not like I want $1 million by next week, and I'm not saying something that I can't actually take action on. It's pretty manageable. It's relevant to my life, obviously, because I have a book coming out. So it's solving a problem or building a skill set that's relevant to me today. It's written down because I'm going to write that intention on the inside cover of the book, which is, we could talk about in a second. And it's time bound. I'm going to do that by the end of next week. And then with that, because like that little bit of extra flavor, I want to make it emotional. Too many people are living under their potential. And I know that this book can help close that gap more efficiently than they could do without it. Like, I need to get the book into the hands of the right person, which gets me motivated to read this. Now, when I write that intention on the inside cover of the book, I'm going to review it each and every time I read a few more pages, so that my brain's natural filtering process, my RAS, reticular activating system, can look for those 2 strategies that I can find and implement to leverage Amazon ads more efficiently. Now, by the end of the book, I might have like 20 or 30 actions that I could take. And so what I like to do is I like to rewrite them and then look at that list and say, what 20% of these actions can lead to 80% of the change that I'm looking for? So I like to only take action on the highest leveraged information that's specifically related to my intention for the book. Otherwise, I run into people all the time and I say, hey, what are you reading? And they'll tell me, and I say, why? What do you mean, why? Why are you reading the book that you're reading? You've got to have an intention, and you've got to be able to articulate it to yourself, never mind other people, in order to get the most from the book. So that's one of the things that I do each and every time I read a nonfiction, personal development, self-help, business style book, because you have to be specific with what you're looking to get out of the books in order to maximize the outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true, because a lot of people sort of read and listen to podcasts because they're just like, mentally masturbating. It's like, what do you like? Yeah, it's great to consume the best practices. That's very important, right? You want to listen to people who know what they're talking about, who are credible and who are experts in their domain. That's probably step 1, right? But just doing that is not making your life any better. Yeah, now you can probably go and have a coffee with your friend and explain to him what, Andrew Huberman talked about on his podcast, right? But are you doing that morning routine? Are you getting morning sunlight? Are you thinking about your circadian rhythms? Like, are you actually listening and learning from that thing? Or are you just mentally masturbating? And so I think that's an incredible tool to utilize for anyone who's trying to actually retain and implement the information that they're thinking about consuming.